Thank you. Yes, finally. I'm not very brilliant, and I'm not saying that out of modesty because I'm not a very, very, humble person. I like to brag about what I can do. So when I say I'm not very brilliant, please take my word for it. So you're going to help out, all right? And the area where, Tosin has, led the. For instance, I'm going to start learning how to do this. You see how focused I am on it, so I don't miss anything. Yeah, when I got this contact from AMAA that I have to come and do this, the first person that came to my head was, why me of all people? I don't know why you'd want to have somebody like this here, but you're stuck with me for the next 17 minutes, 21 seconds, so enjoy it. So I went through, these are some of the things I saw, and I wanted to read it yourselves. So I don't want to read for you, because I assume that you all can read. If you cannot, ask the person beside you to read for you. And so, it is mankind that matters. That's where I want to start from. I live in Bariga. We wake up every day to the sound of preachings. I leave my house. If I'm not riding my bicycle, I'm in a bus, and there's a preacher in the bus. I get out of the bus. I want to walk to my rehearsal space. There's some preachings going on somewhere. So it's a country of teachers and instructors, and there's a song, so much instructions and no real solutions. Yeah, we talk and and I'm beginning to say, I'm not here to teach anything. It's going to sound like I'm teaching. It might sound like I'm teaching, but that's not the intention. The intention here, like the MC introduced, is to say, listen, there's no excuse. Now, I'm going to share a secret with you guys. Look at me very well. I'm going to be 40 years in November. I said that not to impress anybody with that age, because I'm still a fool at 40 anyway. So, but I said it because no excuses, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you my landmark achievements. I gained admission to the University of Lagos at the age of 26. I got into a plane for the first time at the age of 30. I bought a third-hand car or something, because you need to see the car. Some mechanics, shoemakers, different kind of people have worked on the car. Just enjoy this. This will go on, and if there are questions, I can answer them. But I know there was a time we were traveling to Port Harcourt or something, and the police would stop us and be like, "Hey, Pat, where are they come from?" And be like, "From Lagos." Would they joke with you? I said, "With this thing?" And I be like, these guys, So, why I'm always scared of passing out instructions and so on and so forth, though some members of my group around will be like, don't mind him, he likes passing instructions, because to be a director or choreographer, you have to be a bit dictatorial, you have to pass instructions. But then, I don't like people coming to say, this is the way life has to be, and so on and so forth. You must do like this, you must reason like this, if not, we're going to bomb you to hell, I believe in harmony, I believe in, if you just look around for those who have eyes for colors. Just look around, look around. You see, you have this brown background, the chairs you're sitting on, and then you have different colors and shades of shirts. And this, for me, is harmony. This is colors, yeah. And our ideas can also be the same way. So, I look forward to harmony. What can we put together? I don't believe, because nothing will work without the opposites. Yeah, so the argument here is about what is right and what is less right, not what is completely wrong. Because wrong is a creation, and positive and negative will make all these lights work. So we'll be able to deal with it so that we are not all cloned, that we're thinking the same way, we're all, worshipping the same way, doing everything the same way. Let's have some hair as smooth as Tosin Son, we don't have to use this comb, it should be just, So we don't see that. We want to. I think we should have harmony, and for us to have that, we need to understand the idea of differences and be able to deal with it. So the question here is, there are options. Listen, when there was blackout here, I've got a friend here, Kat, you know, and she said for her, so somehow, for us to have blackouts, and she'll be like, why should this happen? And Nigerians, we're just enjoying ourselves. We're over impressed already in Ife that life is too much already. What do you want us to do with all of this, you know? So, you know, there are options in everything about life. If you're not doing this, you could be doing that. And as an artist, I think that's the first thing that, you know, I tried to embrace. I went to school to understand what I'm doing, to see something new. I went to school with a mindset. I came out with another mindset. The moment I left school, I started encouraging my guys. I said, so Jerry, why do you want to go to school? Shango and Ishu didn't go to school. And they've impacted so much, you know, in Yoruba life. So why do you guys want to go to school? And they're like, bros, we'll stop where you stopped, you know. But let's just go through it. Because a lecturer once told me that Amos Tutola wrote the Pawan green card, that if he had gone to school to study proper English, he wouldn't have been able to come out with that mystical, that solid story. Do you understand? Because the school will trim it and make it smooth, and you know, and if it's too good for anybody to deal with, you know. And if it's too good, just forget it. So I'm always, all the time, yearning for what they call a new thing. What is happening here, you know? And when I say I mean we, you know, forget that I'm an African. So when I say I mean, I'm talking for everybody, you know. And some people won't like it. They say you say I, but it's actually about you. I say, well, deal with it, you know. So if you have more options in life, it helps you to deal with so many things as an artist, because I know if I don't do this presentation like this, I can do it like this. And that's how I've been able to tackle my life and challenges. I got to secondary school before I knew mom and dad were supposed to live together. You know, I never saw them together, you know. My parents came one day to see one of our shows at Motherland, and for the third time I was seeing my dad and mom sitting together. If you've been to Motherland, there's this space where they control the sound, and so you know, and it was drizzling, and we were rehearsing, and I didn't notice that it was drizzling. I was just walking, and they were discussing obviously about me. They actually fixed the meeting to discuss why our son's life is like this at this stage. You know, we are actually getting older, and this boy is not really serious with his life. He's just dancing all over. And that day, I rode my bicycle from Bariga to Motherland. So I was going to be very adventurous. That daddy, you know, granddad my grandfather rode a bicycle till they hid it from him till it was around 80 or something before he died. So I was going to tell my dad that, listen, we've passed on debating and I'm doing well. I'm riding bicycles now. But when they called me to discuss how worried they were about my life and what is happening to me, what are you achieving, what are you doing, you should do something with it. So I thought I shouldn't just bother them with my bicycle tail. I just hit my bicycle and, you know, I drove home. Yeah. So if you try to learn new things, like Tosin said earlier on, and in fact, after listening to the first 2, 3, 4 speakers, I thought, no need, let me just come here and entertain you and just dance, because you've heard everything I'm going to say. Nothing again. You know, experiential knowledge, understanding, going through certain things, even if you do not need them, you know, it's so important. You see, we teach, we learn. We are graduating every day. There's somebody doing freedom from learning carpentry, and then there's personal parade, promotions, and so on and so forth. You know, we even travel abroad, so, you know, seek for knowledge. There was a time at the front of University of Lagos, the front of the gate, there was this notice board. If anybody noticed it, study abroad. You know that kind of, the front of University of Lagos, and so, you know. And okay. So we go through all of those things, and that tells me, okay, just go get this degree because you need to get it. But I've been to spaces where they took me to the head of their music department, and one man who couldn't speak a word of Queen's English, but was very good in patois, but they played the local instrument, pan. So it's like making the head of music department in Ife one Babanyo that plays for any Ikomo, and you know this Baba is very, very good. And you say, okay, since we're going to learn Nigerian music, let this Baba come and head that section. It will never happen in Nigeria, you know. So, I mean, we need certificates to function. And so, look at our potholes. Look at what we're going through. Because we are trying to quench local fire with foreign water. So I believe that we should just grow where we're planted because, listen, I don't go to church, I'm a Christian. I believe in God, and that's where it stops. And I believe God is so perfect. Wherever God has placed you is for a purpose. So I believe you just grow where you're planted. No excuse. We could sit down here, we could, Ima could wait for this idea. Now that 2020 is the vision 2020 now, we're going to 2055 or whatever now. But Ima could wait for us to have a structured society system. I mean, all the team, you could wait for that before you put your idea into motion, or you could just move. Do you understand what I'm saying? So just grow wherever you're planted, wherever you find yourself is where you're supposed to be. I grew up, all through my secondary school years, I was a science student. My daddy wanted me to become a doctor or an engineer or something and blah, 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 blah. And the highest I scored in mathematics were like 28 from the beginning. So, and if you read that, you understand. The library is the space for me to sleep. The laboratory, I never liked, So, I won't tell you my results. Find out. Because I flunked physics and chemistry. And then, back Bariga, that's where I grew up. I could have all the excuses. No light. The road is not good. That's my neighborhood. Those are my neighbors. That's where, and I'm not kidding you. That is where I go. Anywhere in the world, that is where it all comes from. I'm stepping up a bit now. I've got a bigger TV in my house now because I'm having people who depend on how normal I should be for them to function. So, having your education and degrees make no sense. You understand what I'm saying? Because in Bariga, once you sabi the road, if you fight where you can shoot bottle, you go no governor. Because when they come your area, they will get in touch with you. That we are coming, so, maintain the area. And you are there busy getting some degrees. What do you need it for? So, nobody's impressed, I grew up, I'm from a very rich masquerade tradition. I'm from Umuano, and as a child, I'm from the royal family, Adefila, And as a child, my uncle got me my own masquerade. So, it was like having your own car in those days. I had my own masquerade, and I had this retinue of friends who would follow me around. Because I was dancing and I was enjoying myself. And that's where I come from. But I realized as a child, the power of the masquerade. And afterwards, I left Oman. I came back to Lagos, and the idea of nurturing me into becoming a great scientist came up, and we dropped this. And so I lost all of these ideas, but they were just there for me. What I've just tried to do was to look back. I haven't gone through school, and I met parents. I was so lucky. I met parents in school who were, if they had to think about me as a human being, I'm not the kind of student you want to have in your class. Because like some of my friends, and I don't know why people have that thing in common. Why do you guys hate classes? Why don't you like going for classes and enjoying your lectures? It's unfair. But that's who I am. So I would go to school and I began to understand my power as an artist. I began to listen to Fela's music from another perspective. Saw what G.O.N.D did with just Yoruba Ronu. Listened to a couple of Bob Marley songs. And I began to see how, the kind of strength God has given me, And so I started adapting, adapting this culture, As a nation, we are a nation of weak people. I must tell you, not because we are weak as individuals, we are strong as individuals. You understand? But as a collective, we are weak because the direction, we've missed it, we've lost it. Somebody translate it to somebody. But, it no longer matters. It is where you say your account today. You don't get the account, you can't fall in love with my daughter. God hammer you. Come over here. And that's the definition of, for me, nationhood. Culture, what is culture? Culture is for you now, created for you, by you, and you should adapt it when you need to. So we are not stuck, you are not tied up anyway. Look at this. Can you imagine? They are serving the same purpose as far as I'm concerned. Jesus wouldn't... You know. So, as Jesus would probably want to come in a limousine for the first time when he tried to ride a donkey to Jerusalem. I think, if, these days he would want to do that. That's simply what we want to do. You want to adapt. I want to see what can be useful. I grew up not knowing the meaning of no stage, no light, at the National Theatre, they took light. Our show was going on. We performed once in the front of Central Bank of Nigeria, because we couldn't afford to pay for the hall. We were told, listen, you guys are messed up. You have to, from the show you perform today, the money you make from the gate must be able to pay for your booking of tomorrow. If not, you are not performing here. So, and the day we were supposed to perform, Nigeria was playing a match. So we made so much money. We made 350 naira. And they loved our costume and our everything. And we went on the streets because it's here. Once you are wealthy here, then you really have nothing. And begin to, you look at the masquerade you saw before and look at this new masquerade to tell a story. It's tradition. That's where I'm coming from. That's who we are. So you look around you and, we could go on whining and complaining, Nigeria is this, Nigeria is that. But if I come back into this world, as much as I hate the idea of our values right now, I'd want to be a Nigerian again. Because, it's the only space where you can be an artist and be lazy. We are very, very lazy. I wake up in the morning, I walk around the streets, the story is ready. We get into our laboratory, and you need to say our laboratory. It can be anywhere. Anywhere we stand is our laboratory, and we begin to talk. Hey, that piece where we won't create. You remember waiting that conductor said to that woman, and the show is ready. So, like I said, there's nothing new we are doing in Crown Troupe. We are just doing what our forefathers did before us, because we understand that tradition. They've passed on the baton. They were more inventive than we are. Tell me, what have we added to civilization, to technology, after mortar and pestle and grinding stone? Not be we. The one pan, whatever, made in China, made in Japan, they bought it. The Nigerian designed it, they bought it, so we really have nothing to contribute. Even common rain where we the hold. I'm sure if some other civilization had it, you just go to a chemist. I beg, I get naming ceremony. Can I get a rain stopper for just 30 minutes? And you do it. So we need to begin to understand why we shouldn't look very far. I've gone to a couple of places this year, and in fact, I took a production, a recording, and it's called Ayedun. You need to come to Ayedun Street. Kudus knows Ayedun Street, and that's what I want to show in Germany. I don't have to look far. I don't have to do anything. I just look outside. I see dumping. I see all of these things. The stories together. That is the unique thing I can sell. Okay, and then I adapt to enrich myself and my society. So, I haven't said all of this. Thank you.